You have another difficult to treat is the groin injury, tear of the muscle in the groin. And worst is, this is more common in senior sportsmen, is a tear of the tendo Achilles. This is the main tendon of the body which gives you push-up, push, and many times it is torn because of degeneration changes at a certain age and lack of adequate stretching flexibility. And one of the commonest cause of a tear of tendo Achilles is hydrocortisone injections. I'll come to that in a moment. Those people who received hydrocortisone injection in this, the incidence of tear is very high. So coming to overuse injuries. Overuse injuries do outnumber acute injuries. Acute injuries are not as many as overuse. And unfortunately, they are not being looked into as much as they should have been looked into. The frequency is underestimated. And it's more challenging to diagnose and to treat an overuse injury. Tissue buildup is there and tissue breakdown is there. Now, ideal situation is when tissue buildup and tissue breakdown are equal. Any exercise you do, there is some breakdown and some buildup. This is called remodeling. Whenever there is overuse, the breakdown is much more than buildup. That's when you get overuse injuries. Repetitive microtrauma to muscles, tendons and joints, or doing too much too soon. As I gave you the example of the recruits for police, they try to do too many things in too short time. So overuse injuries you get when you try to do sudden increase in a workout, overtraining, or you take up some new sports activity, coming back from a rest period, or coming back to rehab after an injury, you tend to do overdo. Your technique might be faulty, your equipment might be faulty, or you might have some physical defects which give you overuse injuries. Now these are common. Tennis elbow. The master blaster has been suffering from tennis elbow right from ages. He has taken all sorts of treatment all over the world, including surgery, but he never recovered fully. He had it till that he retired, and he was carrying this band with him. All his pictures you will see a band there. So what is tennis elbow? It's a pull of the extensor muscle, a repeated pull from the bone, inflammation, and if there is fault in your technique or you overdo the technique, you can get it. Commonly seen in racket hold games, tennis, badminton, and cricket too. And you see this man. And this is one of the most difficult injury to treat because one can never ask them to rest for a sufficient long time. People have done physiotherapy, people have done cortisone injections, but not always they have come out of it. Another measurement for a racket is from the middle of the palm to the tip of the middle finger. That should be the girth of the handle of a racket. That's what they say. If it is more, you are likely to get this elbow. Other repetitive injury syndromes are ulnar neuritis in cyclists. Because of the constant position, your nerve gets stretched here. Then javelin throw, baseball, the shoulder, tennis elbow and golfer's elbow. Golfer's elbow is on the inner side. Tennis elbow is on the outer side. The people who play golf, they do get medial muscle strains. And the ultimate example of overuse injury is a stress fracture. Generally, we see them on unaccustomed activity, common on overtraining, or too fast comeback after rest. They come to us with the pain in the foot, pain in the inner side of the knee. And generally, if you take an history, you will find that there was increased workout. Examination finding may be tenderness or pain in the medial side of the shin of tibia or on the foot. X-ray does not show this in the initial stages. So you have to resort to either bone scan or a MRI to see this in the beginning. And these injuries have to be, the athlete has to rest if they have these injuries for sufficient number of days or weeks to heal it completely and come back to the sports again is a very slow process in a stress fracture. Prevention is the only way you can avoid this or treat this stress fracture. So I'm coming back to what I said, decrease the intensity, duration and frequency of training. Work out easy schedules. You have to coordinate with the trainers or the coaches whenever you treat these overuse injuries in an athlete. Doctor, coaches and physios have to combine treat this for a proper outcome in these cases. So you have to elaborate a treatment plan with doctor, physio and the trainers. Review the training program. First thing to do is prevent the first injury, and you have a long way to go. Secondary prevention is prevention of subsequent injuries after the first injury. It's more difficult, needs meticulous planning for secondary prevention. It all boils down to proper fitness. More injuries are present in less fit people. A fully fit sportsman, well stretched out, strong muscles, flexible, very rare to get those injuries. Slow comeback to active soccer after injury, aerobic conditioning, strengthening, agility training, avoid overuse injury, even you have to take a season off if the injury is so bad. You just have to lay off for one season, recover fully and come back. Avoid pressures for overtraining. Listen to the body. Now, pressure for overtraining comes from so many factors. One is you want to compete, or your coaches are pushing you, or your team management is pushing you. You got to be very careful for that. This is another point that we have to think about. A routine medical examination of all the people in a team. It helps by identifying the hidden disease. Sometimes you are not aware that you are suffering from something. You can, with a medical examination, you can identify old injuries. Before competition, you can go through the medical examination. And especially just beginning of the season, you have to do this. Now here I would like to announce that we are starting a sports medicine clinic every Wednesday between 3 and 4 at this hospital for this sort of things. We can do a checkup, pre-seasonal checkups. We can do advice regarding sports, advice regarding muscle weakness. All this we can take up, and we are going to start this very soon. So coming to the list of prevention, a huge list, but all down to basics. Nothing extra, nothing more. I already talked about all this. Coming to the equipments, particular sports require particular equipments. Now, for example, runners, their shoes are different. Footballers have a different shoe. Tennis players have a different shoe. Now, you can't wear running shoes and play football, or vice versa. So, specific equipment with specific sports is very important to prevent any foot injuries. So, you have different types of protective gears now. You heard of recent death of a cricketer because of head injury by a ball, and those were the days. I can remember Nari Contractor, an Indian captain, was hit by a fast ball in West Indies, and he had to go through craniotomy, and those days they were not wearing helmets, no visors. Those were the days. But now you have good protective things. Now, one word about cortisone shots. Now everybody knows about these injections. Some people think they are miracles. You have an injury, take one cortisone shot, go back to work or go back to play. But unfortunately, it is not so. You have to be very careful when you advise or administer a cortisone injection, because they are near cure, or they mask the inflammation. They do not cure the sickness. Keep it in your mind. They are safe only when used in a very judicious way. They may even harm. Commonest thing I have told you, this tendo-Achilles rupture or a shoulder tendon rupture is very common with this cortisone shot. One of the famous cricketers from Bombay, Sandeep Patil, you must have heard of him. His career finished, he took more than 70 injections in his shoulder. He could not even throw a ball. He was a fine batsman, but he had to leave the sports, but he became a selector ultimately. I think maybe that's better. And secondly, in pre-diabetics or diabetic sportsmen, the sugar level can go up with the shots. So you got to be very careful when you advise this cortisone. This is something we have had few episodes in Goa of sudden deaths on a football field. This was one reason we and Dr. Rufin coordinated and we took CPR training for all the footballer players. I think we made about how many? 200, 300 people on CPR. We trained them on CPR. We even got them kits for each club of emergency things. And I do hope whatever training we gave must have helped to some extent to all the coaches or trainers or the players.